How we are going to look after the trees. So this environment champion will encourage them to take care of the trees. But also we look at an innovation called the drip system, where we'll use plastic bottle to slowly drip water into the tree.
Having held other impactful projects in the school, the Nairobi-based Rotary Club saw it fit to continue mentoring the girls on matters environment.
We worked with Lavington Secondary School before, so we did a mentorship program with Lavington Echo before, and we had almost 1,000 students. So and that day we also planted trees. So we've realized we are forming a good relationship with them, and we want to continue doing that. And part of Rotary is in environment. So this year, part of Centennial Year is to plant a balance of your years of trees. So we want to keep on doing that, nurturing this school, and still creating a good relationship with them.
Bill Hanjeri, an alumni of Lavington Girls Secondary School, expressed her joy over the initiative, terming it impactful.
So we decided, yeah, why not come and then partner with them and then plant a few trees. We all know what is happening to our environment right now. It's terrible time for Kenya and the country at wide. So it's always nice to impact a young mind. And today we were here with the students just to create that diversity where they're able to know that climate change is real. So it's just good for them to just know that one tree at a time will just help change the whole generation.
Through championing of environmental conservation and health preservation, the impact of the Rotary Club of Lavington Gioni continues to be manifested.
Today we're at Lavington Girls Secondary School, where we have come to plant trees. One of the objectives of Rotary is climate and planting of trees. As one of the projects that we have done today, there are others that we have also been doing. We have trained the community health volunteers to go out, do outreaches to women who are expecting. They come to the hospital, they are guided, we've even got them a scanning machine where we're able to see the position of the baby to make sure the baby is healthy.
Anthony Kwemoi, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Now, imagine a supermarket where instead of purchasing a variety of goods and paying, you deposit a variety of waste and get paid instead. On the Voice of Nature, David Kegina tells the story of how investors are capitalizing on recycling of waste to generate money that is used to and as an incentive to compensate those who collect their waste. As you will learn, a majority of what ends up in your trash bag rather can actually earn you money and reduce the environment pollution. Take a look.
Every day, we fill our shopping carts with the latest products, unaware of the trail of waste we leave behind. Plastic bottles, food wrappers, and countless other items end up in rivers, water sources, and landfills, polluting our environment. But what if there was a way to turn this trash into treasure? The Kenyan government, through the National Environmental Management Authority (NEMA), introduced the Sustainable Waste Management Act of 2022.
We have been managing waste in a certain way since independence, where waste was to be collected from where the people are and taken to dump sites. But since July 2022, the new law, Sustainable Waste Management Act, required that waste be segregated at source, so that it is not contaminated. Unlike before, when the county governments were in charge of all the waste, now the county governments are only responsible for organic waste, maboga boga, but not synthetic waste. Synthetic waste is the responsibility of the producer. And then the law further provided that those companies, those individuals who place their items on the market, like in shops, what we buy from shops, from supermarkets, they are supposed to be responsible for safe disposal of that waste. That means they have to take care of collection, transportation, and final disposal, including recycling.
This means no more overflowing dump sites like Dandora. Instead, companies must find ways to recycle and reuse their waste.
It doesn't recognize dump sites anymore. Actually, the facilities that are recognized by that law are material recovery facilities. We want to recover as much resources from waste as possible because it is circular economy. We don't want to do more mining of materials to make products. We would like to recycle what we have. Okay. Now, the other facility that is recognized is a composting facility to handle the organic waste. So, and then what we have is the current dump sites. They are supposed to be decommissioned. Counties are supposed to provide NEMA with their decommissioning plans for the dump sites, for the existing dump sites. And then they are supposed to construct what we call landfills.
Joyce Wawero is the Chief Executive Officer at Packaging Producer Responsibility Organization, PACPRO, a consortium of at least 200 companies that seek to comply with the waste management laws. The organization is focused on starting waste trading points where people can deposit a variety of trash and get paid for their service.
We've come up with this project because, and we have dubbed it Biz Nataka Mtaani. Biz Nataka Mtaani simply means that there's a business in waste. And it is in the estates, in the villages, it is in our homes. It is really at your doorstep. Because you and I are generating waste in our homes, in our establishments. But this waste, a lot of people don't know where it is going to. Some believe it is going into the dump sites, but unfortunately in some instances it's being dumped illegally, okay? And it ends up in the rivers, and that's why we have this issue. And so today with these containers and the trading points that we have launched is to bring the market closer to the consumers. Okay, to bring the market closer to the people who are collecting these materials so that they are able, once they collect the materials, they are able to quickly sell it.
While recycling is not new to the country, the approach involves increasing the scope of what can be recycled and ensuring those who are in the chain of waste management are properly compensated for it.
This project we are rolling out in Nairobi, Kiambu, Kajiado and Makueni counties because we are targeting the Nairobi River catchment area first. And so that is our target area. And so we are working not only with installations like this, an individual could have already set up their own business. But because they have not had a market, they are only selecting the different materials they can collect. And I've said we are dealing with over 47 different types of materials. Our work as PACPRO is to ensure we have been able to identify a market for every single material. So we have contracted partners, very credible recycling entities that are able to buy this material and convert it into new products. And so we have been able to provide that linkage. So ours today is to close the loop because there's been a gap in being able to access a market. And so as PACPRO, we have come in to step in as an intermediary to be able to close that gap in the value chain. So we want to ensure that our waste collectors are getting fair price, that our waste pickers are being able to be remunerated fairly, but also that our recyclers are getting a lot of material and they are getting material when it has been segregated.
The container behind us is the one to be, somebody is to be stationed there. Yeah, when a member of the public, including waste pickers, when they bring their waste here, then they are supposed to be compensated for waste collection service. So they'll be given some money.
From plastic bottles to food wrappers, everything has a price. Even straws and plastic bags can be recycled.
When you look at our trading point, you can be able to see clearly. We have published all the materials that we are collecting, and we have also put in the different slots for the prices that our recyclers are going to be buying for, but also what this trading point is going to be paying you. So you don't have to come and negotiate. If you have brought your materials, if for instance it is the laminates, your sweets, your crisps, wrappers, you have brought them, you come, you just give it to them, they weigh them, and the price that is written there is what you get. Another material that has a lot of problems, of course, and that is growing very widely, Today, most people, when they go to the supermarket or anywhere, they are being given takeaway packaging. So either your coffee cup or your container for fruits or your food, that container, we call it thermoform. And ideally what happens, that material, when we collect it, it's actually being used 100% in our country, and it's actually being bought at this shop and any of our agents at 30 shillings per kilo. So you'll find that materials that we are able to convert means we are able to crush them and make a new product similar to the original. We pay a very high price, okay? So you find that for thermoform, we are able to recycle it nearly into its original use, whereas for the laminates, we are putting it into a fencing post as opposed to making a new packaging material. Your bread packaging is one of the materials that NEMA has actually allowed to still be packaged in plastic bags. Okay, and because of that, we also have adopted a system where we are able to buy it from here and take it to a recycler who is actually using it to either make your garbage bags, yeah, the black garbage bags that you receive in your home. We are making from the bread bags once we recycle them, or it is adopted into other materials to make construction, roofing, black sheet. Okay, and so ideally we are paying about 25 shillings for that material. And so we do encourage anyone in this area or anyone where you will spot a blue agency shop like this one. Take your material there, you'll be able to get your material, your money, and most importantly, the money is on the spot. So there's no IOU, no one is going to pay you later. You get your money immediately, you bring the product to the facility.
The law also provides incentives for individuals to become waste collectors. For just 10,000 shillings, they can register with NEMA and start collecting recyclables.
The companies are still responsible for this waste. So they are supposed to make sure that the waste does not accumulate here. This should not be seen to be a dump site. They are supposed to make sure that every other day, every week, this waste is moved from here to the recyclers or to the disposal facilities.
This is one of the fastest growing sectors in our economy today. It's also one of the largest in terms of informal job creation, because you don't have to be employed by anybody. You can be able to start this business on your own. You can be able to recover material within your homes and simply come and trade it and make some money. We are encouraging you to sign up as an agent. We will be able to take you through training to be able to onboard you into our system so that you can be able not only to make money for yourself, but to also bring money closer into the communities. Kwa mtaani.
NEMA has started going for companies that are not managing their waste properly. Those who are dragging their feet into buying waste from the people, compensating the people for waste recovery service. So we are going for them, because if you don't compensate the people for waste management service, then your waste will be found in the river.
With the Sustainable Waste Management Act in place, Kenya is leading the way in sustainable waste management. By recycling and reusing, we can create a cleaner, healthier future for generations to come.
60% in urban areas is organic waste. It can be converted to manure. Then the other 30% is recyclable. So already you can see we are already at 90% of our waste can be useful. The other 5% can be used as waste to energy. It can be burned. It has calorific value. And then the only 5% is supposed to be landfilled. So when you see a big place like Dadora and other dump sites in the country, they should not be there, because only 5% of waste should be there. So we don't need more land for dump sites if we implement the new law.
The future is bright for Kenya's recycling revolution. For Voice of Nature, I'm David Kagina.
Thank you very much, David Kagina. On that note, we just take a brief breather yet again. We'll be back with what's making headlines in the world of sports with Chris Migwambo.